So first and foremost, fuel pins are kind of a hot topic in first gen Cummins. I'll talk a little bit about the stock fuel pin, but today we're going to be focusing on aftermarket fuel pins. There's lots of options out there. There's the Hungry Diesel, there's the B&D fuel pin, there's Bully Dog, there's the Denny T, there's the M&H. They've got a series of 5 fuel pins. So you've probably asked yourself, well, what's the difference? What one do I need? What's the best for my truck? So in my opinion, for the thing I use my trucks for, which is just really daily driving, light towing, they're not heavily modified, the Hungry Diesel pin is by far the best option. You know, both these trucks have stock injectors and an HX35 turbo, so not a huge turbo pushing a lot of air. And for that purpose, the Hungry Diesel fuel pin works really well. It's the ramp on the pin fuels really well, consistent with how I use the truck. Okay, so one thing you'll see, and I'll put a picture on the screen right now, the ramps and indentation on all these fuel pins is just slightly different. Okay, it may not look like much, but the little change in that ramp, how steep it is, how deep it is, how long the ramp is, can make it different for how your truck is going to fuel with that pin. So you may find, for example, the M&H stage 5 pin is very deep and very steep. It's going to fuel a lot and fuel really early on in the throttle. So essentially you may find yourself getting more black smoke because it's dumping fuel before the air can catch up to it. So that's not what I want. Smoke means unburnt fuel. Fuel's expensive. I want to burn every ounce of diesel that I'm paying for. So in my experience, the Hungry Diesel fuel pin has been very good. It burns very clean. I love the fueling curve on it, and it works really well. And just as a reminder, Eric at the Hungry Diesel has been supportive enough of my channel that he's provided a discount code, Decent First Gen, I'll put it on the screen right now, that can get you 10% off anything you buy from his website. So that's fuel pin, that's governor spring like I did in the last video, that's anything. And go to his website, he's got tons of stuff for first gen and other trucks as well. So go check that out. But that's what I did, and I love his products. His customer support is second to none, and honestly that's probably the biggest thing in my book as to why I use his services, because he backs his products and he's there for me if I have questions. Alright, so now that we have a few of the basics out of the way, let me show you how to pull the stock fuel pin, and I'll show you how to put the Hungry Diesel fuel pin into this pump. Also, before we get started, see my crew cab behind me? Go check out a couple of the videos I've done on that. I'll link them above, and they're in the description below as well. But check that out. This truck is my baby. It's sweet. I've done a ton of work to it. But let's get started on this fuel pin. Alright, so if you're like me and you have an automatic transmission, this is your injection pump, and this black piece on here is the throttle position sensor. So I'm going to disconnect this real quick. Just going to put that out of the way, and you'll see 3 of the Allen bolts that hold the throttle position sensor on are also 3 that hold the top cover of the AFC on. So we're going to have to take those off. So let's start by doing that. There's one. There's 2. And there's 3, and the throttle position sensor just comes right off. So before I take this last one out, which is actually a flathead, I do need to remove this reference line off the back of the top house of the pump. So let me grab a wrench and I'll do that real quick. So this right here is a banjo bolt, which means it's hollowed out, and it actually, this line provides air into the injection pump to push on the diaphragm, which I'll show you here in a second. So it's a 12mm bolt. Loosen up just a little bit. Now you have to be careful with this, and I'll show you why. Let me zoom in just a little. So if you notice on here, there's the bolt, there's kind of a washer, there's the line, and there's one more washer. The tendency is when you pull this bolt out, that washer that's closest to the pump can kind of fall out and get lost. So make sure that doesn't happen. So I'm going to ease it out. One thing I recommend doing is kind of keeping a hand underneath it. I'm not going to do that because that'll block your view. Okay, so there it's off. My washer stayed kind of on the banjo bolt, so I'm just going to leave it like that. But if it's loose on there, I'd pull it off and put it in a safe spot so you don't lose it. Now we're going to break this one loose. There we go. Okay, now we're going to take the top of the pump off. Okay, so there's other videos on YouTube talking about the smoke screw. There's videos talking about the star wheel, which I'll show you here in a second. Today we're not going to address that. I'll do that in another video. So right here, this is called your diaphragm. So what you want to do is carefully kind of wiggle it out. Don't rip this diaphragm. It's very important. If it gets ripped, it's ruined. Okay, so I did not know what pin would be in this pump, and let me show you guys. This is a stock pin that's been ground down just a little bit. So you can see the stock pin looks very much like a cone on the bottom, and then you can see someone's kind of ground it down for that ramp right there. Now I'm going to hold that side by side with the pin we're going to put in, and you can see the ramp is similar but a little bit different. When you grind a stock pin, it's never perfect. Okay, so these Hungry Diesel fuel pins are perfectly milled with the exact ramp that he's done his research on to get that to. So you'll notice on here there's a little plastic washer. Okay, we're going to take that off. And one thing a lot of people don't know, with the Hungry Diesel fuel pin, you don't replace this plastic washer, okay? You keep it off. There's some aftermarket pins where you put it back on. The one I'm using, the Hungry Diesel's pin, you take that off. Set that out of the way. And all we have to do is loosen this nut right here. So I'll go ahead and do that. So that's just a 10 millimeter nut, and what you do, so on the bottom side it's notched out for a 10 millimeter wrench. Okay, then you get a second 10 millimeter wrench on the top, loosen this nut, and then it comes off by hand. Don't lose that. Okay, and there is a little metal washer on top there, so don't lose that as well. Take the wrench off. And then, with a little pressure, the fuel pin separates from the diaphragm. Okay, so that is the removal of the stock fuel pin. Now what we're going to do, this is the Hungry Diesel fuel pin. So all I'm going to do is put that in there. Instead of pushing it through, I'm just going to gently thread it, but you can just push it through. Okay, so that's in there. I'm going to put this metal washer back on top and then put the nut back on. Let's get one wrench on the bottom, one wrench on the top. And just cinch it down, just like that. Okay, so that's the new fuel pin. It's already in there. Now, you may have noticed this when you took the fuel pin out, but this ramp needs to be pointed toward the radiator. It needs to be pointed to the front of the pump, okay? So all you do, set that in there like that, okay? Grab your pump top. Screw that in there. Okay. I'm going to put my reference line back on. There we go. And if you do have a throttle position sensor, notice on the underside there's a little screw here. This screw fits right into the top of the throttle shaft, okay? So you have to make sure that seat's down in there. Otherwise you're going to drive and it's not going to be locking into this and actually giving the throttle position sensor a signal. Okay, so that's down in there. Okay, plug that in. Another thing, if your throttle position sensor is not working, I'll do a video on how to adjust it. It's fairly easy to adjust. Sometimes even when it's properly adjusted, it doesn't work correctly. Then you do a delete kit with a potentiometer, which I can show you how to do as well. I've actually got that done on the crew cab, so I can show you that installed and show you how to install it, because I'm thinking of doing that on here as well. All right, let's fire it up and make sure it runs okay. So we're gonna fire it up, check for leaks real quick. You're gonna notice kind of a ticking noise that might sound like the valve lash is off. I'm gonna check that, but that's not what the ticking noise is. The fan hits just a little bit of the shroud. You kind of hear that a little bit. So I'm gonna address that here in a couple days and figure out where it's hitting and get that trimmed off.